So, a few years ago, I started this YouTube channel cooking food in a house that we used to live in. I started an Instagram page. I started an Instagram and a YouTube, and I started making cooking videos, long form, short form, and super motivated in the beginning, which kind of eventually turned into like being motivated and then not motivated and then motivated again and then not motivated again. And I just kind of teetered back and forth for a really long time until eventually I would take a long enough break that I would contemplate like deleting my accounts. So recap, 3 or 4 years ago, started making food videos. I made this YouTube channel and an Instagram. I thought it had to have a name. I thought it had to have like a shtick or all this thing. And it turns out like no one really cares about those things. I haven't made a YouTube long form video probably since the beginning of this year in February or January, maybe even March. And my love for making cooking video has definitely waxed and waned and teetered and have just been in the balance of being non-existent. And at the end of the day, my love of cooking hasn't dissipated. The idea of the social media YouTube grind is what I struggle with. And so a couple months ago, I got back into making short form content, vertical video, and basically posting those and kind of like building myself back up into making content again. I really struggle with the long form because I don't really know how to tackle making a good long form attention worthy video cooking in my kitchen, you know, out here in Alaska. Like I don't have the skills to get better. And the argument could be made like, we'll just keep doing it and it'll happen. And I understand that. And so for the last 3 years as well, I've spent my summers working on a food truck because one of my ultimate long-time goals for a really long time was to get my own food truck and run that business. And the best way that I found to be able to learn how to do that is to go work on somebody else's and go work and learn everything that I could. And I tell you what, in that first year, I really learned a lot. And the second year, I learned even more. And the third year, this last summer, I think I've come to the understanding that I don't really know how I feel about owning a food truck. And the number one thing being my time availability. You know, I'm not a full-time creator. I'm not even a full-time cook, aside from feeding my family and myself and making videos and things like that. But like my job is so separate from the food world that the amount of time that I would have to be able to give to a food truck is like non-existent, or if not just like a weekend warrior type thing. And throughout the last year, I've really worked on bettering my health and my fitness and my movement and my mobility, as well as my diet. And when you go onto a diet, it's very hard to like be stoked about making food because I think there's a lot of personal guilt in it. It's just like, oh, if I'm making this bomb stuff, like this isn't kind of what I'm supposed to be eating on this diet, and I need to eat a lot cleaner or whatever. Either way, I've definitely been through my own little journey, which brings me to where I'm at today. So sorry for that long introduction. So little recap. We've got making food content for the last 3 to 4 years, YouTube channel, short form, working on a food truck, struggling to make social media content and YouTube content, struggling with my goals and dreams of owning a food truck and realizing whether or not I want to do it. And ultimately, it landed me in a position to where I wanted to keep working with food, and the best thing that I could come up with and the best thing that I could do on a smaller budget I started a cupcake business through my Instagram. I started a cupcake business and I've been selling cupcakes through Instagram to start out. I am on week 3. The first week, my wife was like, well, you might not sell anything. Don't get discouraged. Just keep posting menus. My first week, I sold over $100. My third week, I sold over $300. And my second week, first week over 100, second week over 300, third week, we're about right in the middle of both of those weeks. And what I've learned along the way, it really helps strengthen the things that I've learned on a food truck, but it also gives me really good experience in running my own business. And so you may be asking, Joe, why are you making this video? One, I'm making this video to give you an update as to why I don't really make videos, or haven't been making videos. Two, I'm giving you an update as to what's been going on lately. So if you want to see a lot of the stuff that I have been more consistently doing, that's going to be on my Instagram. I did push some shorts or some short form content to YouTube Shorts, and I thought that they did really good. And I'm sitting around today waiting for cupcakes to cool and to decorate them later tonight. And I was just like, what's been missing in my life? And that's making, not cooking videos, but videos on my cooking/baking/food channel, Joseph Smith Cooks. That's where we're at. I've got a growing cupcake business. I've got a food truck that I'm probably not going to be working on anymore. From what I understand, he's selling it. So next summer, I'll probably be building a garden and we can make videos on that. And so to really push forward and move past where we're at now with everything that I've explained and everything that we're currently talking about, this channel will most likely be a conglomeration of everything that I do that's done around everything food related. And so if you have more questions about running your own cottage bakery or micro bakery, if you have more questions on how to work on a food truck, if you have questions on how to make certain dishes, if you want to see a cooking video about certain food, I'm open to all forms of suggestions. But I will say, if you've ever made a cooking video or you're a food content creator or you do any of that, or even if you make short form content about sandals or whatever, one thing that I will, in my opinion, say that you should do, in my opinion, disclaimer, whatever, especially depending on your age or where you're at in life, as well as what's going on out in the world today, is you need to find a way to grow that. And sometimes growing that is making a product or selling things. And that's like a terrible way to put things. I don't want to sit here and be that guy that says that everybody should start a business. But if you feel stuck in what you're doing, that might be a solution for you. Don't sue me, bro. That's all I have. That's all I have right now. I think that's about all I'm going to be able to get out of my mouth. I think that's what needed to be said. That's all I got. So I will give you more updates on the cupcake business next week. I'm going to start focusing more on more long form content. A lot of my short form content lately has been about cupcakes to kind of promote the business. As well as word of mouth. Word of mouth is important if you're working on a local scale. And right now I have to work on a very much localized scale due to regulations and laws and things like that. Yeah, I think I'm about ready to start Joe's YouTube 2.0. And I'll really know the answer to that after I edit and upload this video. And something that I can tell you before I even turn off the record button in this camera is that the music that you're hearing, I just made 20 minutes ago on my computer. I'm trying to test something out, you know what I mean? And then we'll see you next time.